Is mass immigration pushing Australia to a breaking point?
Morning. It has been revealed that Australia will experience a surge in migration, with arrival figures hitting an all-time record over the next 2 years.
The Premier is doubling down on his calls for the federal government to slash overseas migration to provide relief for Queensland's housing and transport issues.
We're seeing people living in tents, we're people sleeping on the streets, sleeping in cars, and that number's growing.
We've learned around 400,000 migrants will enter the country this year, so that's around 165,000 more than forecast in the October budget.
Australia right now is on track for its highest migrant intake on record, with new figures showing net overseas migration will actually top 715,000 over the next 2 years.
Australia is a land that many of us associate with stunning beaches, kangaroos hopping across the Outback, and cities buzzing with a mix of cultures from around the world. It's a place that prides itself on openness and diversity. However, there's a growing issue that's starting to affect all of us, an immigration situation that's putting pressure on our housing market, job availability, and even how we connect as communities. This isn't just a headline or a talking point for politicians. It's a real challenge that's impacting everyday Australians. From skyrocketing rent prices to crowded cities where infrastructure is struggling to keep up, the effects are being felt far and wide. Today, we're going to take a closer look at what's really happening with immigration in Australia, why it's becoming a crisis, and how it might shape our country's future if we don't address it soon.
Our population now growing at a rate faster than we can build, leaving more people without a roof over their heads.
For many years, we've been assured by our leaders that bringing in large numbers of immigrants is a boon for Australia. They tell us it strengthens the economy, fills vital job vacancies, and enriches our society. The message has been clear. High immigration is a win-win for everyone. However, cracks are starting to appear in this narrative. What if the benefits we've been promised aren't materializing as expected? Recently, a surprising revelation came straight from the heart of the government, challenging the long-held belief that more immigration automatically means more prosperity.
Some breathing room for us to catch up with the challenges would be very much welcome.
Assistant Minister for Immigration, Mark Lethwaite, openly admitted that our immigration system isn't meeting Australia's needs. He acknowledged that the influx of people hasn't significantly boosted the economy or improved productivity. Instead, it's concentrated in our biggest cities, adding pressure to housing, infrastructure, and social cohesion. This candid admission from a government official shines a light on issues that many Australians have been experiencing firsthand.
Instead of pretending that some students are here to study when they are actually here to work, we need to look at creating proper, capped, safe, tripartite pathways for workers in key sectors such as care.
This is where things start to get really concerning. We've been told that bringing in skilled workers from overseas fills gaps in our workforce that we simply can't fill ourselves. But recent reports suggest that's not what's happening on the ground. According to the ABC, about 500,000 people who came here as skilled workers are not actually working in skilled jobs. Instead, many are taking on roles like stacking shelves in supermarkets, positions that plenty of Australians could fill. This raises a big question. If these jobs can be done by people already living here, why are we bringing in more people from abroad to do them? Consider this. We're recruiting specialists for tasks that don't require special skills, which doesn't make sense. Not only does this put extra pressure on our job market, but it also adds to overcrowding in cities, increases competition for housing, and strains public services like healthcare and transportation. Moreover, this situation undermines the very purpose of skilled migration. The goal was to attract people with specialized talents to help grow our economy and fill critical roles where we genuinely lack expertise. But if many of these migrants aren't working in the fields they're qualified for, then we're not getting the benefits we were promised. It suggests a mismatch between the skills we need and how our immigration system is actually functioning.
The cost of housing, the cost of rents, and the cost of your mortgage will go up under this Big Australia policy.
Australia's housing market is under significant pressure, and many people are finding it harder than ever to secure a place to live. With over 1 million new residents arriving in just 2 years, the number of people looking for homes has surged dramatically. Unfortunately, the construction of new housing hasn't kept pace, leading to a classic case of too many people chasing too few homes. This imbalance between supply and demand has caused rents to soar and property prices to climb. For renters, this means increased competition for every available property, often resulting in bidding wars that push prices even higher. For prospective home buyers, especially young families and first-time buyers, the dream of owning a home is slipping further out of reach as affordability becomes a major hurdle. But it's not just about having a roof over one's head. The overcrowding in cities is stretching infrastructure to its limits. Public transport is becoming more crowded, roads are congested, and essential services like schools and hospitals are feeling the strain. Communities are grappling with these challenges daily, highlighting the urgent need to address the housing shortage that's affecting the quality of life for so many Australians. The immigration crisis isn't only impacting Australians. International students are also feeling the squeeze, particularly those coming from India. These students arrive with high hopes, seeking quality education and the chance to build a life here. But now, they're encountering new obstacles that make achieving those goals much more difficult. In the past year, countries like the UK, Australia, and Canada have tightened their policies on international students. They've introduced higher tuition fees, made visa requirements tougher, and set caps on the number of students they accept. In Australia specifically, the annual intake of international students has been limited to 270,000. Visa fees have more than doubled, from 710 to 1,600 Australian dollars, and students must now meet stricter financial criteria to prove they can support themselves. All these changes make it harder for aspiring students to afford an education here. This sudden shift has left many students feeling frustrated and let down. They invested significant time, money, and effort based on the promise of a pathway to permanent residency. Now, they're being told that those opportunities are no longer available, and some are even being asked to leave the country. They feel exploited, as if they've been used for their financial contributions and then cast aside. This sense of betrayal has led to nationwide protests, with students demanding that the promises made to them be honored. International students have been a cornerstone of Australia's economy, contributing immense financial resources to the country. Reports indicate that in 2023 alone, they added a staggering 48 billion Australian dollars to our economy. This isn't just from tuition fees. These students also spend on housing, food, transportation, and other daily needs, supporting local businesses and creating jobs across various sectors. However, with the recent tightening of immigration policies and the increased barriers facing these students, experts are raising serious concerns. They warn that such curbs could severely damage one of our most lucrative industries, education. Universities rely heavily on the income from international students to fund research, pay staff, and offer a wide range of programs. A significant drop in enrollment could lead to budget cuts, reduced course offerings, and even job losses within the education sector. Moreover, if Australia becomes less welcoming or too costly, these students might start looking to other countries for their education. Places like Canada, the United Kingdom, or New Zealand could become more attractive destinations. This potential shift doesn't just impact universities. It could ripple through the entire economy, affecting everything from real estate to retail. It's a critical juncture where we need to balance immigration controls with the substantial economic benefits that international students bring to our nation. So, where does this leave us? Australia is at a crucial turning point. The challenges we've discussed aren't just headlines, they're realities affecting people's daily lives. The government now faces the tough task of balancing the need to manage immigration carefully while also supporting the economy that benefits from it. It's a delicate situation that requires thoughtful solutions rather than quick fixes. Immigration has been a fundamental part of Australia's story, contributing to the rich diversity we see in our communities today. People from all over the world have brought their skills, cultures, and perspectives, helping to build the nation we know and love. However, when the system isn't managed properly, it can lead to significant problems like housing shortages, job competition, and strained public services. These issues don't just affect newcomers, they impact all of us.
More than 43,000 people on the social housing waiting list at the moment, and most of those are a very high need.
Moving forward, it's essential for policymakers to consider both the immediate and long-term effects of their decisions. This might involve reassessing the types of immigration programs we have, investing more in infrastructure to support a growing population, or finding new ways to ensure that the benefits of immigration are shared widely. By addressing these challenges head-on, we can work towards a future where Australia's economy thrives, communities are strengthened, and everyone has the opportunity to succeed. The immigration crisis we're facing isn't just a matter of numbers or statistics. It's about real people and their lives. It's about families struggling to find affordable housing, workers competing for jobs, and international students who feel their dreams are slipping away. These challenges touch the very heart of our communities and influence the future we all share. Addressing this issue calls for more than just quick fixes. It's time for an open and honest conversation about how immigration affects everyone in Australia. We need thoughtful and effective policies that consider the well-being of current residents while also respecting the aspirations of those who want to join our society. By finding the right balance, we can work towards solutions that strengthen our nation as a whole. Australia has always been a land of opportunity and diversity, built by people from all walks of life. To continue this legacy, we must manage immigration in a way that benefits everyone. This means careful planning, investing in infrastructure, and ensuring that our systems are fair and sustainable. By doing so, we can look forward to a future where Australia thrives and all who call it home can prosper together. Thank you for joining us in this deep dive. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful discussions. And to watch the latest geopolitical news, watch this video here.